first, I'm really happy that we have that kind of a title for International Women's Day, that we are talking about investments in women and not charity as a right, the other half of the world that's being left behind, one where we would invest in their access to education, one where we would empower that agency to take that action, having a career that you can actually dream from when you start in one place to years later seeing yourself climb a ladder because you've made the efforts, because you can, and because you are able. And I think that that's the kind of investments we want to see.
Well, the UN's 2023 Gender Snapshot report estimated a need for an additional $360 billion investment per year to achieve gender equality and women's empowerment by 2030. In the face of so many global crises happening today, how do you ensure that that remains a funding priority for global leaders and governments?
I think first things first, recognizing that we don't have an international financial architecture that allows access to developing countries and economies the resources to grow their nations and to grow them equally with men and women is important. And that's something that in the Summit of the Future for the United Nations this year, we will be bringing to the table for world leaders to take a decision. Once you have access to those resources in a country, to look at the sectors that you may want to invest in. And I think that this is important for many of our economies. So a good financial architecture allows access for countries that then open up that space for women to take their rightful place.
When do you think we will see a world where we have full gender equality? Do you think it'll be in our generation?
I hope that it will be in our generation. That's what you try to do. Is we've got a 2030 agenda. I'm not giving up on the goals that we set in 2015 till I get there. When I get there, we've got to have another set of goals. We'll have another set of goals. And one will look at the UN and say, well, what are you doing about this? Well, every day we're struggling to close the gap between what is pretty much a miserable reality today to what could be. And it's the efforts you make to close that gap, coming together, knowing that with international cooperation, with many around the table, you can lift the pathways and the solutions to those challenges. Can't do it alone. No one can do this alone. And that's what makes us get up every day. And the thousands of people that have sacrificed their lives in the UN, but continue to do so because they just believe in the right of that one person. And that one person is enough for us to get to all.